Weather's really nice right now. Hey guys, currently moving up to the woods. Somehow all my stuff fit in my backpack. I don't know how that happened. I have a lot of possessions. It's been a long walk, but I think I'm around where my cabin is. Hello, my loyal Jesians, or whatever you're gonna get called. I don't know. Anyways, with this video, I'd like to highlight a cult part of my childhood. Something I spent hours and hours on that I still think holds up today. Something that was tragically wiped from the internet, and now I can't even go back to re-experience it. And that thing is FusionFall, a massively multiplayer online game using Cartoon Network's IPs, released on January 14th, 2009. For something as meh sounding as a video game based on cartoons, it actually had a lot going for it. I was immediately entranced by the giant world it gave me to explore. I loved the grid-like setup of the world. The worlds and characters of all kinds of different cartoons are all meshed into one, and it feels so cohesive and fleshed out. It's got its own anime-influenced sci-fi kick to it, so it's already a bit different from the existing cartoons. A big aspect of this MMO that made it pretty different from others were the collectible nano system that it had. As you progressed in the game, you collected these small versions of characters that would help you in battle. They would offer you all kinds of different battle mechanics. This game was also very responsible for helping the Unity engine become more powerful. It's a huge game, and the development team insisted that they use the Unity engine. And because of that, Unity had to go through all kinds of different upgrades in order to handle it. So now you see stuff like VR chat come out of it. Like from the second I saw VR chat, I noticed, oh, that's the same exact text that FusionFall used. The main overworld was pretty much split into four, with the suburban area, a city area, the wilderness area, and the Darklands area. From the beginning, players would start in a more tutorial-like area called the Future, which was essentially the decaying remains of what used to be the suburbs, completely surrounded by green goo. There's a ton of green goo in this game. That's why I love the game so much, is because I love green goo. Distinct areas in the grid map catered towards specific levels, so you would kind of progress outwards this way and that way as you leveled up. The game received regular updates from launch to mid-2011, and these updates included seasonal stuff relating to new shows. There was a huge update in early 2011 that kind of replaced the Future with this whole training regime. It revamped the nano system, that way they could keep adding more and more. It used to be that you'd get 1 nano per level and you'd do a nano mission in order to level up, but they changed it so nano missions were optional and you could get more than 4 per every 4 levels. They just really wanted to shove Adventure Time in the game, you know? So where did the game go? Well, that was redundant. Like I mentioned before, the game had been receiving updates all the way up to mid-2011, and for people like me who had already played the game a bunch, really the only thing I was coming back for were those updates. And so because of that, I kind of wandered off, stopped playing it, and I'd assume that a lot of other people did the same for similar reasons. It's a huge game, a lot to explore. I spent months playing it, but even a huge game, you're gonna run out of stuff to find eventually. So increasingly over 2011, 2012, 2013, the game received less and less traffic. And finally, on August 29th, 2013, they decided to just shut down the servers right before doing a little finale bonsai blast kind of thing. I wasn't there for it. I didn't learn that the game shut down until after March 2014. So it's understandable why it's gone, but I would still love to jump back into the game, relive the areas. I loved the game, and many other people love the game too. After the game's demise, a pretty dedicated following has kind of sprung up to kind of bring the game back, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but first I want to talk about why I loved FusionFall. By far, the #1 reason why I loved this game was the world exploration. At the time, late 2009, early 2010, I've never really played a game this big. And obviously now there's all kinds of open world games and stuff like that. FusionFall is nothing compared to Breath of the Wild, for example. But it was so fun to explore around this world because every single square in the grid-like manner of this world was so different and unique. If you venture out far enough into the woods, you find this really huge waterfall. If you venture through the city far enough, you'll reach the ocean. There was also the huge Charm and Nano collection. It was like in-game amiibos, and they're more functional than amiibos. Of course, there's also the huge crossover appeal between all the different shows. It's like, you know, picture Smash Bros, only instead of the Nintendo characters, it's all kinds of different Cartoon Network shows. And instead of being a 2.5D fighting game, it's an open world MMO. There's another very specific bias I have about this game, and that's because it introduced me to a lot of these characters and settings and shows. For the most part, I didn't really grow up with Cartoon Network, so a lot of this stuff was new to me. I didn't know who Fuzzy Lumpkins was. This was how I learned about cheese. And then seeing a lot of settings from the show get turned into these big 3D models that you can jump around on, that's another really cool thing. The best example being the KND treehouse. Legit, that's half of what I did when I first started playing the game, was just trying to parkour up to the top. I would constantly figure out different ways on how to get up even higher. It was so much fun. So is there any form of future for this game? Yes, a small team of dedicated independent developers are working hard to bring out a new, refreshed, updated FusionFall. The key element here is they're bringing back FusionFall. That's all that most of us care about. Don't get me wrong, it's great that they're adding even more new stuff to the game. I can't wait to see what kind of other new worlds and characters that they bring in. But at its heart, most of us are just hyped to play FusionFall again. They call this fan project FusionFall Legacy, and you should really go check it out if you've ever played this game before and you love it. Or even just, take my word for it. I've had so much fun with this game. Now, they've had to go through some legal issues, but for the most part, it's gonna get out there. There's been specific characters that they were told not to use, but it's just specific characters. And that's just what they want to add to the game. None of the original characters are going to be out. It's already been several years of them working on this, and I can wait several more. They're just a small team of independent people. They're doing all of this out of love and passion, so I can wait. They're also working on releasing the original game unedited from the early days when the future was how the game began. Most of what they're figuring out is how to make it more multiplayer accessible. And as soon as they do that, the game should be out soon. And I can't wait for both. I can't wait to play the original game again as I wait for FusionFall Legacy. I learned of this fan project at the end of 2015, so I've already been waiting like 2.5 years, but still, I can wait more. My love and support for all the people who are bringing this dream to life. Anyways, I better get back on my journey. See you later.
Welcome back, Jezza. You've come at an urgent time.
Tyrone? Is that you?
Yes, my child.
What's with the suit?
Joseph A. Bank had a sale, but that's far from important now. You must come with me urgently. A dark power is growing relentlessly in these woods. Nothing has been the same since the incident. I can explain more later. Quick, back to my cave. Hurry.
I have a Discord, it's pretty funny.
It's beautiful out today. That's funny. Oh, hey, bug. Woo! Ooh, what kind of bug is that? There is a wasp on me.
Oh, fuck me, I said it wrong again, didn't I?